Dear Mr. Biden, right through the Obama administration, since before there were people on and off WFSB involved with criminal uses of locations at corners, like the corner of Maple Street. I forgot the name of the street. So then all the way down, past leading up to with the Oliveri, Joshua Stryker, Joshua Julian recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with your military involved with the criminal foreign influence identity federal crime acts, mail crimes, wire crimes, uses of the identity of the FBI, whole bunch of people on and off Two Rod Highway associated with Victorian House, recording a whole bunch of the people as a whole bunch of people recorded, confessed with crimes on and off the locations of campuses and on and off the locations at the end of the Berlin Turnpike, criminally through time, with vertical and horizontal database, illusion stacking, evidence racketeering methods, originally and still pretending the identity of the office had integrity it never did, offensively preventing free speech. Let's just one teach. There was also a Spottle family recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the FBI, former director of the FBI down, a whole bunch of his federal criminals, Robert Luskin, involved with racketeering, uses of Mr. Biden, and uses of identities of Vietnamese family, Japanese family, all kinds of nations associated on and off Trinity College, on and off CCSU with the same people involved with federal crime acts roles with these campuses further that were used in the background to prevent mandated law and to prevent mandated evidence is actually recorded, but only the police have access to them. They're using that for child abuses through administrations. The Obama administration, Mr. Biden, your military is involved also with networks, like with a woman reported who asked you, a child who asked you to go to her prom. That was involved with those are one of the families involved with various natures of courts, judges. Like there's a Judge Kilder, and there are various natures that he with a probate court and other a whole bunch of people other associated with probate courts, other Hartford courts that were our crimes with New Britain Superior Court, people on and off the state judicial branch offices, also with black and white female judges, crimes with KKK, Confederate flag theme, and election racketeering associated uses of Wethersfield town offices, actually recorded uses of Millwoods Park. Note that drives right into the straight into the heart of Hartford. Corners along that street recorded and confessed also involved with the racketeering with corners and with perception tied to that. While they are preventing offensive crime action methods uses individually together and grouped everyone with the Wethersfield Police Department through time. Individually grouped and together, everyone associated with New Britain Superior Court through time. Other natures of courts. These are people criminally involved leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context, leading up to and in a 2006 case with former director of the FBI, his co-defendant, his federal criminals, my extended family members used by evidences racketeering with military, foreign, and domestic involved on and off CCSU with racketeering interages of campuses through time, tied to their confessions to me from strangers when I was in grammar school. I still don't know their names. And if I do, and some of them mixed, that I barely know. This is a crime method through time, uses of identity, the ground locations tied. They had a whole bunch of people associated on and off Two Rod Highway, involved with people further involved with child sex offenders, with doctors that attached me to forging names, switching names, shared policing of stores. Whole bunch of people involved with the Crone family, two twin brothers, Crone brothers, involved with Department of Transportation, Tom Perone, Danielle Perone, a whole bunch of people tied to them, and to my new and past neighbors with this Dillon family, a whole bunch of people tied to this Dillon family with the end of the Town Line Drive, the mobile gas station, the gas station next to it, all the businesses there associated with foreign and domestic racketeering with databases, with military, foreign, and domestic. As people racketeering roles with on and off Wesleyan College. I didn't even go to school there. Houses near there. But people associated with the policing of everything, interbranch, individually grouped together through time, maintained sick. It's all right if they have opinions. Make them pick one name and sequence interbranch, and let's go. Let's get them down. We also have no legal representation at the Trade Center attack context. That's associated with a whole bunch of people tied to Phil Cololo, involved with racketeering, with child sex offenders, with state police, with FBI families in my area, with Trade Center clicks tied to it. Department of Transportation. There's an Ian up the street with a black house. I don't know if it's still black. His family and his neighbors are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with him by people. I never had a conversation personally in my life. I don't know if it was him on Twitter, but recorded, confessed, demonstrated hope that way and a whole bunch of other ways. He's involved with racketeering, with uses of Facebook, online policing, involved with racketeering with also O'Brien family, other people associated with crimes at Trinity College and CCSU with other nations through time. Their roles with investigations and racketeering with the stewards of the prisons too. Also kept needing to hide the same sequence shifts, finite, active, and progressive racketeering acts lies with them, preventing mandated law from being followed, lying about what is actually recorded online, pretending to be against things that they are furthering with that, pretending to be against behavior. We have behavior racketeering natures, physical delusions, criminally foreign influence, fact-cheaping nature styles, people associated with psychology in a whole bunch of nations at once. And as doctors of psychology with badges, recorded delusions wrought, criminally foreign influence, evidence racketeering roles, needs, and natures. We have further on and off in locations and neighbors of a Justin Klavinskis. I never had tried to contact him in my life. I never tried to contact either of the 5 Dimauros either the 5 people with the name Mike in my life. There are further people with the name Jerry Kerr tied to them. Also, with the John Dimauro, with other Joe Dimauros, shared policing of stores, racketeering roles with these 2 Carone brothers. I also barely know if they pretend to perceive things. They pretend things recorded through time. There are crime acts roles uses of Millwoods Park through time with a whole bunch of people, with the houses in my area involved with the racketeering on and off CCSU, various natures of departments used criminally through time. Now they're forging names and switching names because the various natures of courts and of police had to keep using it through time. They used Mazzucato Bakery associated with the foreign extended family members involved with child sex offenders and with overt criminal enterprises associated with the English department, with other natures of roles and uses of CCSU through time. Their crime acts roles with uses of places on the Berlin Turnpike associated with the state police, where they hire kids and things like that. These are also my foreign and domestic family members used, everyone speaking through other. They were recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with evidence racketeering, identity theft racketeering, sequence shift racketeering, roles with CCSU racketeering on and off Middletown locations with foreign and domestic family members, private training of it. People on and off CCSU recorded, confessed, and demonstrated sequence shifts. They were influenced by investigators to act things so they could pretend to perceive things criminally. That was recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. For example, for their roles with sequence shifts, saying things opposite of what they communicate actually. No, it's all right to have people lie and to have people want to debate their motives, but take a position first, because this is actually recorded. And they're also recorded pretending things are recorded. There's a woman named Marisol who's also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with foreign and domestic families, all kinds of nations, sick, with child sex offenders, medical corruption, all kinds of database, vertical and horizontal database illusion stacking, identity racketeering. She's involved with identity racketeering with police forms in my family, in my area, in my house, in my street. People associated with them, thousands of names associated with recorded all kinds of database federal crimes attaching me to fake locations. A whole bunch of people with the name Alicia associated with racketeering with them, with New York clicks, with a Fred Grisey, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. All kinds of people tied to the Wethersfield police chiefs, immediate and extended family members, with crimes, with campuses, with people locations on off campuses further involved with child offenders. They're lying about me with PTO and stuff like that. So let me come to the meeting. You know what I'm saying? But now they can't because we're gonna. They need. That's why they need to put something in writing. They need to take something on paper because there's a Lucinda also recorded and confessed with other men and women that I don't know at all. Never had anything to do with growing up. That pretended other behind my back for a whole bunch of people. Which that becomes relevant information now that I know there are more threats from New Britain Superior Court and confessions from New Britain Superior Court, also with Facebook, that they recorded, confessed, and demonstrated were used to force a principal sex offender not told upon, with worse, more sex offenders, medical offenders, and drug clicks used for other natures of crimes with New Britain Superior Court through time. Rick Cianfaglione was recorded, confessed, and demonstrated used to attach me to fake locations and to spread lies by having, like, in other words, have me go there and then have pretend behind my back to people I never had conversation with, girls that I know them. In other words, and that's in the context with his roles with confessions about a whole bunch of people with the Britain Superior Court, racketeering on and off CCSU with a Zano family, with criminal justice people, with people, all houses in my area further recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. Also racketeering with judges and with police firms, with real estate companies. Now, see, there's sequence racketeering. They have obligations to tell them an enemy real associated with my new and past neighbors that the Dillon families are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved also with doctors in my area 3 times with the triage, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with him forging names, switching names, drug crimes, formal and informal, crimes with child sex offender principals campus further with a Phil Cololo. CNN, please respond because they have a whole bunch of people associated with policing of locations in Rocky Hill, Intercity, West Farms Mall, involved with the people who speak to you through communications. They will not respond to the judges recorded and confessed, the police forms and recorded and confessed, to have them using the fake news, to pretend they have fake news, using statutes criminally, leaving out their evidence racketeering, their crime acts rules with child offenders through administrations. It's a problem where these people are pretending that the office of the presidency ever had integrity. President Obama did not have this speech because of this. Because of this, they force presidents to self-value. We can't afford to have that self-value. Please, someone respond for the Obama administration recorded involvements with slavery and child sex offenders, with women judges and police and doctors and medical families associated with my area. There is no integrity. Follow mandated law and actually recorded evidences with evidence racketeering natures. However, we have further on these routes racketeering. All those who are affected with that former mayor's name may go. Where do you live? Where do your kids live? Get me a response now and writing. Now we have a whole bunch of people associated with forensics clicks about racketeering. We also see my police and public judges racketeering roles, uses of campuses, sickly through time. Each agency of them connected. Facebook, fix your fake news. Fix your racketeering acts. Respond. Get me the goddamn name of the cop with New Britain Superior Court. All of them involved with you, Facebook. Let's go. More child offenders with the child principal sex offenders campus that was forced to sustain. That's what's actually recorded, especially if they made that up. All right? Also further, with stop at shops and with these shared policing in the stores. Get off my nerd!